hold tight.
Oh,
This amazing, talented lady with her mom, Nikki, have been producing world-class luxury Indian weddings for over 20 years. They speak internationally on weddings around the globe. Plus, she's a mom of two. So homeschooling and trying to run a business, in my eyes, makes her a superhero. Ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Madiha Khan of Exquisite Events. Woo!
thank you so much. Can you, okay?
Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah, there we go. Can you speak again? Let's see. Can we hear you now?
Yes?
Yes, there we
Okay.
go. Fantastic. Welcome.
What a welcome.
Yeah, of course. You have to have an introduction.
I feel like I was on a talk show.
You are. You're on Bluebell Talks.
I love it. I love it. We should, I have my tea ready for
Oh,
Charlie. I would
Me
love
too.
Yes.
Oh, well done.
We should call it Sipping with Charlie. Sipping tea.
Sipping tea with Charlie. I like that. I might have to rename it. Do you have a special Indian tea, or do you have the British PG tips?
It's the good old Earl Grey.
Oh, you're an Earl Grey girl.
I'm Earl Grey with some hot steamed milk. I learned this from my mom.
Yes.
The milk has to be steaming, piping hot. She always complains about how tea is not properly sort of served in the States.
Your mum is absolutely right. When people make tea for me here, they put it in the microwave and it's like lukewarm. And I'm like, no, that's not how you make tea.
That's make it at all.
Do you think
science?
there is a science to it? Now, do you think that is from, because your mum went to a Swiss finishing school, didn't she?
She did. She went younger. She was in Europe. Just to give a little background on her. So my grandfather, her father, was a diplomat, and he traveled all over, and he spoke about 9 languages. So
Wow.
So that took them all over traveling Europe while she was growing up in Pakistan. And so that sort of brought her to be extremely cultured, and she just had that innately from the very beginning, I think, just from her travels.
Wow, that's incredible. And is that where she got her love of entertaining and everything? Did you grow up with that with your mom? Does she entertain a lot at home?
Entertained every single weekend. And she not only entertained, she cooked, and she would. I always tell the story that we had house plants in the house, and even down to polishing the leaves of the plants with milk. Like, so those things. Yeah. So we would be enlisted, my older brother and I, to silver and polish the leaves. Everything had to be tip top.
Wow.
From when I can remember growing up. So this is almost through osmosis in me.
Yes.
Even though I grew up with 3 brothers, I'm a little bit of a tomboy. I'm the only girl, but somehow it managed to come my way.
Wow, what an incredible upbringing. And that's her attention to detail, of course, which is why your weddings are so luxurious and beautiful and perfect, because your attention to detail is incredible.
And that's what's really important, honestly. Those are the things that matter the most, and that people remember. Even down to just things like, I remember her teaching me. I learn from her all the time, of course, but just when the linen is not properly laid. People sometimes don't realize that in a photography shot looks terrible. So just those little details, the way the napkin is folded, the way, even if a little silverware is out of place, it just throws it off.
Yeah, that's our A-type OCD perfection. We were talking about perfection yesterday, but that's when that kicks in for us. Like if there's a 100%. Seam on the, hi Cindy's saying hi, but if there's a seam on the linens and the table is in a row, if the seams aren't going in the same direction, it drives me nuts.
Exactly. Things like that. And a lot of times people don't realize that makes a difference, but it really does.
Yeah.
It does. Especially, when you look at the whole grand scheme of things, when you look at the room when it's complete, those details are what matters.
Yes. Yeah. And then how the chargers are put to the table. Some are far away, some are close to the edge.
Chairs are placed, how the menus are placed, all of those things. The glassware is placed. Sometimes we'll go around after the hotel places things and we'll go and fix ourselves. You know how it goes.
Exactly. Yeah. And there are some hotels that just do it naturally and you don't have to worry. And there's some that you have to go around and, you know, double check. But that's okay.
Zhuzh. I call it a zhuzh.
Yes, a zhuzh. I've been called the napkin Nazi before. Because I fold all the napkins no matter what the guest count is. I don't know if you do as well, but I have to know that or Rachel, who works with me, she'll do it because they have to be perfect.
They have to be perfect, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll do like 2 or 3 tables just to show them. It's enough to do one, but we want to make sure that they get it correct each time. But you're right.
Yeah.
That's important.
Absolutely. So tell me, how did you get started? What did you do before you joined your mom? Because your mom had the business first, right? And then you joined him. How did that come about?
About 19 or 20, almost 20.
20 years. It's amazing.
Back then, she was pretty much one of the only sort of Indian wedding planners out there. And she started it, basically, she would volunteer, fundraisers.
Mm-hmm.
Again, always such a natural hostess. So it was a natural inclination to go into her own business. So her first wedding was one of a dear friend's daughter's wedding, and it was at her home. And she, I don't even remember. It was not obviously for an exorbitant amount of money, but just to have that experience of doing her first wedding for a friend, for a very dear friend, it struck a chord for her. And so that's where Exquisite Events came from. And I was always doing events with her on the weekends and on the side while I was in college. And while I graduated from college, I went into finance.
Uh-huh.
But I still was always kind of dabbling and knew the business. And of course, my upbringing with her as well. So I know that she's very particular and she's a drill sergeant when it comes to, events. And
you have to be.
You have to be. We all. So I had that sort of innately in me.
Yeah.
And then so from then on, it was just word of mouth. And, we would advertise a little bit here and there, but it would just word of mouth. And one family to the next family to the next family until it grew.
Yeah. And now it's global. You do weddings all over the world now.
We do. And it's been really, really lovely to see the transition, from going to from weddings in LA to destination weddings. It has its own set of sort of challenges.
Yes.
And you learn from it every time, but it's so nice to go and experience it in different parts of the world.
Yeah. What do you find the most challenging thing when you do a destination wedding?
Sometimes it can be language barrier.
Yeah.
Like we're so used to having everything available to us here.
Yeah.
We have our linen, we have our, tents if we need them. We have everything that we need is available at our fingertips. Sometimes over there, you have to over there, I'm saying anywhere around the world, sometimes you have to educate people a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Linen, I find in Europe, it's so hard, just something so simple like that. It's so hard to find a really good linen. So sometimes you have to bring it.
That's interesting. I was talking to Sarah Haywood about that on Monday. And because we did a wedding in England, I found it very hard to get a linen. So I had to bring them from LA. So you found the same too.
Same too. Even in Mexico, we've done weddings there. So now it's a little bit, I would say, more, everyone's a little bit more up to speed. But it has been the case for us where we're spoiled here.
We are. We have so many amazing linen companies. I think now the linen companies now need to go, our lovely ones here, need to go international so that they can have them too.
I've encouraged so many of them to do so.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And what do you do with the language barrier? Do you hire somebody local to help you?
We always have a DMC there. Or someone a liaison that can assist us. When it comes to certain things, dealing with decor companies or rental companies or even just the venue itself, there's someone always there.
Yeah.
That we can sort of connect with.
Yeah, because our idea of, fabulous might be completely different on a huger scale than someone abroad. Their fabulous might be smaller, which is what I found in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Keeping the translation is the hardest thing. What's your favorite thing of a destination wedding?
The favorite.
Yeah.
You know, just the actual destination itself. Our couples take us to such beautiful venues and beautiful spaces. Last year, I was able to go to Sicily, which I had never been to.
Wow.
A little town called Taormina, which is where Godfather was. And so it was just so nice to, and this couple in particular had gone there 2 or 3 years ago together, and they found that they just fell in love with this little spot on Earth, and they wanted to have their 4 events there back to back.
Amazing.
So it was truly beautiful, and I think that would be my most favorite thing about destination weddings is the destination itself.
Yes. And then do you stay on and explore a couple of days after?
I always would love to, but I have to get back to the kiddos.
Oh, you have your babies. Yeah.
I have the kids, and I have the hubby who, is by then pulling his hair out with the kids. I'm gone for 7 days.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, how is it working out for you now that you're home and you're trying to run your business and you're homeschooling your 2 boys and your husband's home as well? How are you juggling it all?
It's exactly that. It's a juggling act, and homeschooling is truly just such another beast in and of itself, because it's something that we all have to learn. And my kids are not obviously going to want to sit down and be disciplined and do that themselves.
Yeah.
So I have to be there with them. And it just honestly keeps reminding me my hats are off to these teachers, because they do so much for our kids when our kids are gone for 8 hours of the day. We don't realize, until now, that they're with us at home trying to do what they're doing and emulate it. It is a true challenge, and honestly, my hats are off to them.
Yeah, incredible.